Your dreams were your ticket out.
Moonlight. Feels right.
You think one-hit wonders vanished because they were too small to matter?
We're gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight.
1976 proves something stranger. Some were too weird to happen twice.
Pulling at my sleeve if you're just playing.
A television theme became bigger than the singers. A rock anthem almost missed its own destiny. A duck voice reached #1. And near the end, one band barely touched the top 40, then slipped so far out of memory it almost sounds imaginary. If these songs ever came through your radio, the stories behind them will change how they feel now. Number 15, Happy Days, by Pratt and McClain. How does a television theme become bigger than the people singing it? Pratt and McClain had the voices. The show had the memory. That was the bargain. America heard those hand claps and did not think about a record company, a studio, or two singers trying to make their own name. It thought about a couch, a glowing screen, and a weeknight where everything felt easy for half an hour. That is why it reached the top 5. It was not just a song, it was a place people wanted back. Wrapped in leather jackets, jukebox lights, and a version of the past that never seemed to argue with anyone. Listen to that opening cheerfulness. There is no mystery in the music, only safety. That was the trick. The song made memory feel brand new. And once television proved it could make a hit, radio was about to choose a rock anthem its own band almost missed. Number 14, The Boys Are Back in Town, by Thin Lizzy. The band did not know this was the one. American radio knew first. Thin Lizzy had other songs they believed in. Other tracks felt more obvious. But The Boys Are Back in Town had something the band could not fully measure from inside the room. It sounded like trouble returning with a grin, like old friends walking back into town after doing things nobody was ready to confess. That is why it became their one massive American pop breakthrough. It did not feel polished for the charts. It felt loose. Alive and slightly dangerous, like the story had already started before the listener arrived. Listen to those guitars. They do not introduce themselves. They arrive already famous.
Driving all the old men crazy.
That is the strange part of a signature song. Sometimes the artist chooses it. Sometimes the audience points and says, "No, that one." And from a rock anthem chosen by the crowd, we move to a band that had to become something else to stay alive. But it is also a band realizing the future has already arrived without asking permission. And after that direct order, the next hit whispered something much less innocent under perfect harmony. Number 12, Afternoon Delight, by Starland Vocal Band. This song got away with it because it smiled. The voices were clean, the harmony was bright, the whole record floated across radio like sunlight through kitchen curtains. That is why the trick worked. Afternoon Delight sounded harmless enough for any car ride, but the joke was sitting right there in the middle, waiting for listeners to grow up and hear it differently. That is what made it dangerous in the softest possible way. It did not wink loudly. It behaved. Parents heard sweetness. Kids heard melody. Adults who were listening closely heard something else entirely. Listen to how bright those voices are. The cleaner it sounds, the funnier the disguise becomes. Did you catch what this song was really saying back then? Or did it only hit you years later? Tell us in the comments. And just when 1976 could not possibly get more ridiculous, disco gave America a duck.
Party the other night. All the
ladies with
Number 11, Disco Duck by Rick Dees and his cast of idiots.
the disco.
A duck voice went to number 1. That is not a punchline. That actually happened. Rick Dees made a novelty record at the exact moment disco was powerful enough to carry almost anything with a beat.
Moving my feet to the disco beat. How in the world?
The record should have been a weekend joke. Instead, it climbed all the way to the top and became one of the strangest hits of the decade. The real story is not just the quacking, it is how big the joke became.
All of a sudden I begin to change. I was on the dance floor.
A radio man made a parody, and the parody got bigger than the room that created it. That is when a novelty record stops being a throwaway and starts becoming proof that the whole culture has temporarily lost its mind.
Flapping my arms, I begin to cluck. Look at me.
That is pure 1976. Even the silly records had muscle. And from a duck on the dance floor, we go to Beethoven in a leisure suit. Number 10, A Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy and the Big Apple Band. How does Beethoven end up under a mirror ball? Walter Murphy took one of the most recognizable openings in classical music and dressed it for the disco floor. That should have sounded like a joke. Instead, it became a number 1 hit. The old thunder of Beethoven's Fifth suddenly had a beat people could move to, and radio accepted the strangest bargain. This was not classical music being respected from a distance. This was classical music getting pulled onto the dance floor whether it wanted to go or not. The serious old melody did not disappear. It just learned how to sweat under colored lights. Listen to how familiar it feels before the groove changes the whole room. The past walks in wearing the wrong clothes. And somehow they fit. And from a symphony turned into disco, we move to a song where the beat itself becomes the star. Number 9, Turn the Beat Around by Vicki Sue Robinson. The percussion did not support this song. The percussion was the song. Turn the Beat Around worked because it sounded like motion taking over the body before the brain had time to object. Vicki Sue Robinson did not just sing over a dance track. She rode the rhythm like it was already spinning too fast to stop. That is why this record still feels alive. The words are almost instructions. Turn it around. Flip the feeling. Let the drums do what ordinary language cannot. In a year full of disco records, this one felt almost handmade from movement itself. Listen to the way the rhythm keeps pushing forward. It does not build politely. It crowds the room until standing still feels like the wrong answer. And after all that percussion heat, 1976 suddenly slips into Moonlight, with one of the strangest soft rock sounds on the radio.
I caught it in my hands today.
Number 8, Moonlight Feels Right by Starbuck.
Moonlight feels right.
What happens when a summer song arrives too early? Moonlight Feels Right had the wrong weather at first. It sounded warm, breezy, and open window ready, but radio did not fully catch it until the season started to match the feeling. Once spring and summer caught up, the record finally made sense.
Take you on a trip beside the ocean and drop the top and
And then came that marimba solo. That was the detail nobody else had. Soft rock was full of smooth voices and romantic keyboards. But this song had a strange little sparkle in the middle, like moonlight bouncing off something you almost missed. Listen for that moment.
nothing like the sky to dose of potion. The moon will send you.
It turns the whole record from ordinary into unforgettable. A hit like this does not force its way into memory. It drifts in, waits there, and somehow never completely leaves.
We'll lay back and observe the constellations and watch the moon.
And from Moonlight waiting for the right season, we return to a classroom where one familiar voice found his solo comeback.
To that same old place place that you laughed about.
Number 7. Welcome Back by Sebastian.
Your dreams were your ticket out.
A comeback song became a comeback by accident. Sebastian had already lived one musical life with the Lovin' Spoonful. But as a solo artist, his biggest pop moment came from a television theme about returning to the place that knew you before.
Dreams have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams...
That is what makes Welcome Back feel so gentle and strange. The song was written for a sitcom, but it sounded like it was speaking to the singer too. It reached number 1 because it carried something warmer than a punchline.
And they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya?
It felt like someone opening a door and saying, "You still belong here." In a decade full of louder records, this one won by sounding like a small kindness. If you are enjoying these hidden stories, subscribe and stay with us.
Yeah, where we need ya. Yeah, where we need ya.
Because this only gets better from here. And from a song about coming home, we go to a man hiding something in the kitchen after midnight.
Down to the health food store. I only eat good sea salt, white sugar.
Number 6. Junk Food Junkie by Groce.
Then I pull out a Hostess Twinkie and I pop it in my mouth.
He preached clean living in public. Then the refrigerator opened at night. That was the whole joke inside Junk Food Junkie. But it worked, because everyone recognized the lie. Groce built a novelty hit around a health food believer.
And my friends is always begging me to take them on macrobiotic trip.
Who could not resist candy, chips, and all the forbidden things waiting in secret. The song sounds silly because it is silly, but underneath it is one of the most human ideas on this list. People love to announce who they are in daylight. The truth usually shows up after midnight.
Oh, but night I take out my strong box that I keep under lock and key.
When nobody is watching and the cupboard starts calling your name. That is why it reached the top 10. It was not just about food. It was about pretending to be stronger than your cravings.
Take it off to my closet where nobody else can see.
And from secret snacks, we move to a band whose only hit may have been chosen for them before they knew what it meant.
Starry nights, sunny days, I always thought that those...
Number 5. Wham Bam Shang-A-Lang by Silver.
My heart says no, but my mind...
What if the only song people remember from your band was the one handed to you from the outside? Silver had an album. The label heard it and did not believe the obvious hit was already there. So, Wham Bam Shang-A-Lang entered the picture.
Then comes a time that you're ridden with doubt. You've loved all your...
Bright, simple, and impossible to shake once it started moving. That became the band's one real chart moment. There is something almost unfair about that. A group can spend months building its sound.
You're all loved out. Ooh, ooh, baby.
And history remembers the one hook that arrived like a rescue rope. Listen to how quickly it works. No mystery, no slow burn, just instant sugar. And from a pop hook chosen for survival, we turn to a movie song so quiet it somehow walked away with an Oscar.
I wait to love you just when no one's looking.
Number 4, I'm Easy by Keith Carradine.
Pulling at my sleeve if you're just playing.
A movie scene became a hit record because nobody in the room knew exactly who the song was for. Inside Nashville, I'm Easy sounds casual, almost careless. Keith Carradine sings it like a man barely confessing anything. But the tension comes from everyone listening.
I wait to take your hand if I'm not sure.
Several women believe the song might be aimed at them, and that makes the performance feel dangerous without ever raising its voice. Then the song escaped the film. It won the Oscar. It reached the top 20. And for Carradine as a recording artist,
Not my way to let you see what's going on inside.
that was the one pop moment that stayed. Listen to how little it pushes. That is the trick. It lets everyone lean closer and make the mistake of thinking it belongs to them.
Love you won't be needing, you're not free.
And from a movie confession, we go back to television, where a dream song found an unknown voice. Number 3, Making Our Dreams Come True by Cindy Greco. The song was about chasing a dream. The singer was living one. Cindy Greco was not a household name when her voice became tied to Laverne and Shirley. Viewers knew the marching, the chant, the bounce, the feeling of two women charging into life like the door could be kicked open if you had enough nerve. Then the theme became a real top 40 hit. For a moment, the voice behind the dream stepped out from behind the screen and onto the radio. That is what makes it tender. The song promised that anything could happen, and for Greco, it briefly did. Listen to that lift in the chorus. It sounds like someone being given one shot and running straight through it. And from a television dream, we step into a funk groove that started like a jam and moved like a machine. Number 2, Movin' by Brass Construction. This was not a neat little pop single. It was a groove that refused to sit down. Movin' came out of the funk and disco world with the force of something already moving before the microphone caught it. Brass Construction had deeper success on the rhythm and blues and dance charts, but on pop radio, this was the breakthrough people remembered. That matters. Some one-hit wonders feel accidental because they are small. This one feels accidental because it is too big for the pop box it was placed inside. Listen to the way it keeps rolling. It does not ask for a chorus to save it. The rhythm is the engine. And once it starts, the whole room has to follow. And after all that movement, the list ends with a record that barely touched national memory before disappearing into the dust.
Baby, I gotta tell you something.
Number 1, Let's Live Together by the Road Apples.
Gotta let you know, I want you, babe, I need you, babe.
How does a song reach the top 40 and still feel almost erased? That is the strange little ghost story behind Let's Live Together. The Road Apples were a Boston band with one brief national moment. The single climbed just high enough to be counted.
You're the honey and my sweet life.
Just far enough to prove it had happened, and then the trail nearly vanished behind it. This is not the biggest song on the list. That is why it belongs here. It proves how fragile a hit can be. 1 month,
When I think about the good times,
your record is moving through America. Years later, even people who lived through it might wonder if they imagined hearing it. Listen to the title now.
when I feel the way I'm feeling, I find that I gotta let you.
Let's Live Together sounds like a promise. But the band's time on the charts barely lived at all. 1976 was full of records like that. Some became jokes, some became memories. Some became television ghosts, disco accidents, movie confessions, and lost little signals from old radio speakers. One hit was all they got. But for a few minutes, that was enough.